Podcast. We're back again for another one, episode 192. I'm here. I don't know why. But we got Brendan, we got Harrison, and we are without Sam this week. Gentlemen, how are you?
Better than you.
Yeah.
You're right. You're
Yeah.
right.
We're calling you Oscar.
Call me that this week. I'll be that. I'll be that.
Yeah, if you haven't noticed, Hayes a little grouchy this week, so me and Brendan are going to bring the good vibes.
We'll bring the energy.
Hopefully we can pick Hayes up.
I'm probably grouchy for the fact that I have to illegally stream the Eagles on because they won't be on ESPN because they're not on YouTube TV. So fun times. I might even take my old ass to Buffalo Wild Wings and just be in there by myself. Just ordering a beer, looking super weird, and the guy that you never want to be. That's what I might be tonight.
But on the bright side, you got a $20 credit.
Senior citizen discount
for YouTube TV. They're handing out $20 credits that you have to redeem. They won't just give it to you. You have to.
Yeah, of course you have to go in the account, redeem it, do that shit.
Yeah,
bullshit.
You should go be Unk. I like that for you.
I don't like that for me. I don't want to be a random ass guy just sitting at the bar by myself, just pounding back beers on a Monday night. I just
throw the Uptowns on. You'll be all set, man.
I have New Balances. I could do that. That's a super unk,
Yeah, super unk.
Yeah. So, as the gentleman already said, I am just not I'm in a good mood. I'm just fucking tired. So we'll just get into this. We got dubs. We got L's for those that have never listened to our podcast before. And hopefully my mood doesn't scare you away today. So let's start with our dubs. Harrison, you have 2.
I do. Sam's not here, so I'll just take his spot and just hand out some good, vibes.
Picks. Got it.
Yeah. I just want to give out some more dubs. I feel like it's deserving this week. So first, we're going to go with the Texans. 26 points in the fourth quarter to come back and stun the Jaguars. They were down 29-10 and won 36-29. Without C.J. Stroud, David Mills stepped up, ran in the game-winning touchdown. Poor Jaguars. They've always just seemed kind of snake bitten, but it's been good for the Texans. Obviously, we talked last week about their defense being the best defense in the league, and it was the first time this year they gave up over 20. But to still be able to get a win with your backup quarterback is deserving of praise. So, good job by the Texans. And then my second dub is going to go to particularly Jonathan Taylor. Colts, were playing, a tough opponent in Berlin. They obviously were coming off a loss last week, but Jonathan Taylor ran for 244 yards, 3 touchdowns, and also had 40 some odd receiving yards as well. So I think he gained people like 50 plus points in fantasy yesterday. So it's only right we shout him out for the dub too. So just wanted to give 2, if that's okay with the group.
I mean, you've already did it already, so it doesn't really matter. C.J. Gardner-Johnson went off in his first game for the Texans. I believe he had 7 tackles, pretty much was in a lot of plays from there at that point in time. So actually, I'm lying. He's for the Bears now. I'm thinking of the Bears, which I'll shout them out. But the Texans did, they were really, really good at that point in time. But the Colts, you didn't talk about Indiana Jones. On the fourth quarter, there was a drive there that he got sacked.
Yep.
It was 3rd and 21, and he ran for 20 yards.
Sure did.
Scrambled, and then it set up, and they were able to get a game-tying field goal, which sent them into overtime, and then Jonathan Taylor did his damn thing. So I don't want to just gloss over that he did his damn thing there.
Daniel Jones was all bloodied in the fourth quarter. It looked like he was wearing lipstick. It was an odd kind of look for him, but yeah, he threw for 255 yards, touchdown, interception. Not his greatest game, but he didn't need it because the Colts got back to what they should be doing, and that's just running the ball repeatedly over and over and over again. They have obviously Jonathan Taylor's probably the best running back. He's the best running back in the league right now, just based off production, talent, all of those things. So, yeah, he's going crazy. But it's all things. Defense was solid. Indiana Jones was solid, but Jonathan Taylor's just spectacular. So, sitting at 8-2, sitting at 8-2, 3 games ahead of the rest of the competition in the division. Colts are they've had a weaker schedule, but they're still to be reckoned with.
It's funny. Remember a couple of years ago when the league tried to essentially say that the running back position didn't matter, and then 2 years in a row you have 2 running backs go absolutely off. And I believe the year before Saquon, I think McCaffrey was going off, if I remember correctly, or he might have been injured one of the many times he's been injured. But it's funny how running backs have made a resurgence after they just try to say running backs weren't worth being paid enough money.
Yeah, you still
Shout
got
out to them.
Still got those premier guys. I mean, it's those top 5 are definitely worth it. After that, it's definitely a mixed mash of things where, you could spell a guy here and there, but those top echelon guys are difference makers for sure, and difference makers when it comes to playoff time.
I would agree. Bacon, who's your dub?
It's a toss up. You know what? Since Sam's not here, I'm going to say the Jets.
Oh wow!
I really like what they did at the deadline. I think they were decisive in their moves. They're obviously rebuilding, and this is the way to do it. Get more draft capital, get some first day picks, right? So I think I said to the group chat last week, but they now have 2 1s and 2 2s in the upcoming draft, and now 3 firsts in the 2027 draft. So they're doing it right. I'm excited to see. Now, obviously, they have to make the right selections and they have to pan out, but at least now they have the ammunition to really turn things around probably pretty quickly if the draft picks pan out. So, yeah, I was really impressed with what they did at the deadline. And to be honest with you, Quinnen Williams, good player, obviously, right? But he's not going to really do much for a team of that caliber at the moment. So to cash in on him, I think was a smart move, and also with Sauce as well. I mean, he's obviously a hell of a talent, but I feel like that's a luxury to have a top corner on a pretty bad team at the moment, and who aren't going to be contending for a few years now. So I like what they did. I was impressed. I'm kind of envious, to be honest with you, as a Giants fan. We'll get into that later.
To have a quarterback throw for 54 yards and a running back not even crack 100 and still win the game and score 27 is impressive in itself. Being on the game yesterday, I guess it may say more about the Browns, but find a way to win. Jets special teams was off the charts yesterday. Kick returns for 166 yards and punt returns for 126. So they had field position all game long. I guess no need to really pass the ball.
Browns. You have Shador Sanders. Try him out. See if it works.
Bring it up again.
Taller quarterback, can probably see over the offensive line. Was better than the guy that you had in there in college, but okay, whatever. But
yeah, I mean, Gabriel threw for 167 and was sacked 6 times. So
yeah,
maybe
try somebody else.
Yeah.
You might have another quarterback on your roster. Brendan, I like that pick, but I like mine better. Bears 5-game home win streak, and they did it against the Giants.
Just salt in the wound, huh? Okay.
A little bit. You did pick the Packers, so I'm a little salty about that. So, Bears, it was an ugly game no matter what. In this, the Giants 100% should have won the game, but the Bears did not win that game convincingly at all to me. They did come back and win, but that wasn't because, to me, I mean, they had some standout players and plays that they had throughout the game, but it wasn't, hey, we won this. It was good for them. I mean, just wanted to shout them out for having a 5-game home win streak. I didn't think I would say that at all about the Bears at any point in time this year, or to even have like somewhat of a win streak. So they're finding ways to piece games together. And again, it could look ugly all at once. At the end of the day, what does the record say? I don't know how I still have flashes of Caleb. I don't know what he is still to me. Big arm, sometimes really dumb decisions. I think he's still learning as they go, but he's got some stud receivers to throw the ball to. There's some studs on the defensive end. Like I said, they brought in CJ Gardner-Johnson, who gets a bad rep pretty much everywhere he goes. But when he's on the field, he is always somebody to have to account for because he livens up that defense. You can definitely see that it was a little spark there for them. I wish this spark was there for the Bills. Actually, I don't, but
can I just add about Caleb?
Yes,
real
please,
quick? So,
please.
Yeah, he's been solid this year with shaky moments. And to me, it's kind of his first year because of bringing in Ben Johnson, and the offense is completely foreign to him. So they run a lot of timing stuff, and he's not that. Like, that's not his skill set. Like, he needs to be out of the pocket making plays, and that's the ones he did make yesterday when he was out of the pocket making plays. So he's getting better at the timing stuff. The routes are starting to click a little bit better, and they're doing okay. I wouldn't pick them against a lot of the upper echelon teams, but they kind of handled business there at the end. Giants had a 96% win probability with like 5 minutes left. So again, it's why we're going to touch on Brendan's L's in a little bit, but yeah, to be able to, come back and make the plays down the stretch. And it was a lot of Caleb down the stretch making those plays. I think, he deserves props for that. And I think he'll just continue to get better.
Yeah, Harrison hopes that. Harrison hopes that. Sorry, Brendan, before you go. Harrison hopes that because, Harrison, if you guys are new to the program here, Harrison stands Caleb. So he's going to always stand up for his guy, even when he knows he's wrong. But Brendan, go ahead. I'm sorry, sir.
I saw your nails were painted orange like Caleb's too yesterday. So, yeah, you're really on that bandwagon.
My fingies.
Mm-hmm. Credit to Caleb. Obviously, the Giants just completely choked away that game once again. But yeah, I was impressed with his ability to, elude the pressure, evade, sacks. I mean, that's a hell of a defensive line, and him getting away from Burns and Thibodeau and Abdul. There's something to be said about that. Yes. Giants probably should have executed a little bit better and had a couple more sacks there, but you got to give credit to Caleb too, scrambling, making those plays, making those throws on the run. He had a lot of drops, or his receivers had a lot of drops too, so his stat line should probably look better than what it did. I was impressed with what he was able to do there, especially at the in the fourth quarter. So
you might as well stay here and go directly to your L, as it's obviously connected to this game.
All right.
I mean, it's what we do.
Let's do it.
All right. Sure. Yeah. Speaking of the Giants collapse, not the fourth one this year. Brian Dable. I really
adios.
Sayonara. I tried my best to stand up for him and to really give him a fair shake, and he absolutely has, obviously, over the past 4 years now, or 4 seasons, I should say. But yeah, he goes out with a record of 20-40-1 as the Giants head coach. It's a .336 win percentage.
Not good.
That's not great. He obviously had the one really good season, won Coach of the Year, and took the Giants to the playoffs. But got a playoff win in Minnesota that year. But it's just been one miserable collapse after another, and 3 straight seasons with a 2-7 record to start the season. Everything that's been happening speaks to poor coaching, poor leadership, poor preparation, poor execution. I know the Giants have had a slew of major injuries this season. Now Dart as well with a concussion, which is awful, but still. I think we've been saying it for the past few weeks now too. Look at the Niners, right? How do they continue to be competitive with really just a makeshift crew of players right now, especially on the defensive side of the ball? But that speaks to their coaching with Kyle Shanahan, right? And just how effective of a coach he is, and how he gets those guys to buy in and to go out there and play for each other and to execute. And that's something that Dable, especially over the past few years, has failed to do. And I hate to say it because it's someone's livelihood job, but I'm glad he's gone now. And now we start looking for the next head coach, who's at Kafka, who's the interim head coach there. So that'll be interesting. See if that changes anything with the play calling. I know Dable was tabbed as like a quarterback guru and whisperer, and not for nothing, what he's done so far with Dart has looked good. But I also think you have to wonder if the concussion yesterday was kind of the last straw as well for Mara, aside from the collapse. I just feel like there's a mismanagement of Dart as well, and kind of putting him out there in harm's way with these designed runs. And I don't really give a shit if, I know Dart's a grown man and that's his playing style. You got to sit the kid down and say, listen, you can't be taking these hits. You got to get down, and I see these post-game interviews with Dable up to this point, and that's part of his game. And it's disappointing that he got hurt or what have you. It's like you got to be a better leader, a better coach there, and look out for your players' well-being. So you have to wonder if that also played into the decision to say, you know what, Brian, this isn't working out.
Yeah, I think it definitely did. I mean, yes, Jackson Dart's going to put himself in harm's way. Because that's just the type of player he is. He's always been that type of player. He's not, Tiger doesn't change their stripes like that quickly. But It's also the play calling that's putting him in those situations. Like there's so many design runs. It's not just like we're not scrambling just to scramble, which he does do at times. And,
because the offensive line is not the greatest either. So he has to do it. Line breaks down pretty often.
When it breaks down, he gets out there and he's done well with that. But, the read options, the other things that, are constantly, putting him in taxing situations where he has to make those type of decisions. That's on the coach. I mean, that's on the play calling. And, I hope, they can have some come to Jesus moment and the next guy can figure out a way to kind of have him be as productive as he is without putting him in harm's way. And, he's got 7 running touchdowns on the season, and that's been keeping the Giants in a lot of games. But like the other side of that is you're putting him in danger way too often. So they have to figure out some middle ground there where, you allow him to be him, but also, maybe limit some of the read option plays and that sort of thing that, can put him into, tricky situations where he has to make some type of decision there with the ball.
I disagree with you both. And the reason why I disagree with you both is there's somebody Jackson Dart looks up to and models his game after Jalen Hurts. And Jalen Hurts did this exact same thing in the beginning of his career, which he put himself in a line, jeopardized himself until he realized that when he's knocked out of the game, that it's a detriment to the team. He started to do something I started to see him do a couple of years ago after he got concussed and knocked out of a big game, is he started to slide, even gave himself up often. That is not just, I think that's beyond coaching. That's also the player understanding how important they are to the team. Yes, I think they should continue to put Dart in those positions because his legs are a vital part of what that team is going to be and be able to create. But he also needs to understand, which he is very young, as we talk about on this very often, is he wants to go and get it. And it's great because in certain situations, late game, it's 4th and 1, and we really, really need it, go for it, right? But in the middle of the game where we're up by 10, slide, right? That is, and what you guys said, this is the part I do agree. In those situations, hey, come to the sideline. What the hell are you doing? Slide. Don't do that in those situations, right? That's the coaching part that you guys are talking about. But I don't want to diminish what he does as a player. I think he needs to understand as well. And that will come with time is, hey, I need to be on the field for this team. I need to know that I can get this extra yard, but I need to be here. We can get it on the next one. Or let's have faith in my teammates to get that. You have good pieces around you. He was lighting Theo up yesterday. Like Theo was through the middle catching, like it was 3 plays in a row. The third one, Theo dropped it, or it actually didn't get to him. But you have outlets to get the ball to instead of putting yourself in that position. If it breaks down, take it. So that's where I disagree with you guys, and I don't think you guys necessarily disagree with me in that aspect. I do believe that he just does need to get down, and that's to your point. It is coaching. Hey, Dable. Hey, you, come here. Sit over here. Stop doing that. You know what I mean? Like that's what you need to do. So, with that said, Brendan, I know we talked about this pre-show, and I know we joked about Lane Kiffey, but I think that still is a good option. I think it's a phenomenal option. Who would you want as a coach? Like, do you have anybody in mind at this point to be the next coach for the Giants?
Not Lane's pompous ass, that's for sure. Something about him. The visor, maybe that's it. I don't know. I don't like them. Anyway.
Visor hatred is insane.
I'm not a big visor guy.
Not either.
I don't know. I'll be completely honest with you. I don't have like a candidate that I'm like, that's got to be the guy. And to be honest with you, I don't think there's going to be someone available or someone that we bring in that immediately turns this ship around. I don't think there's like a Mike Vrabel, that could do it. I guess doing in New England, but I don't know, man. I think it would be, of course, because it's a big name and everything, but I feel like it would be very entertaining if Mara and crew take a little trip down to North Carolina and say, Bill, once a Giant, always a Giant. Bill always wanted to come back. Now is your opportunity. You got your franchise QB. You got some studs on the defensive side of the ball.
I like that.
Come on back, baby, and bring your 23-year-old girlfriend with you, and she can have a suite, or she can be on the sideline next to you. That's fine. And
she's probably gonna be in a sideline next to him, rolling his wheelchair next to him. That man is so goddamn old.
That to me, like, I don't think that's gonna happen. But to me, like, that would be just fodder for the media and headlines. I mean, Bill returns, and I would have a hard time seeing him turn that down if that opportunity did present itself. And I'd be all for it. It'd be worth a shot, right? Like, why the hell not? To the fans, he'd be like, hey, we're going to get the greatest coach arguably ever, right? And this guy, started here and, won 2 Super Bowls with us as a coordinator under Parcells, at least one. But I would love it, man. I mean, that would be, like I said, entertaining to the max. And damn well that locker room culture would change, and he would be an immediate impact on the team. So that's the one that stands out to me. Outside of that, I don't really have any other candidates that I'm like rooting for.
What if we did Bill as head coach, Lane as the OC, and Nick Saban as the DC?
Okay. You should see yourself off this podcast now. I'm not mad at it. I would like to see it just for, as you said, it'd be very entertaining. But I also think that Bill Belichick has not kept up with the times. And I think his counterpart in college, which is the reason why he left, in Nick Saban, is because the tides were changing and he didn't want to continue to go that way. Instead, he was sounding like the grumpy old man that was complaining about stuff. Bill has gone down to North Carolina and got his ass whooped from the beginning of the year. It will continue to get his ass whooped through and through.
No, they're much better. They're much better now.
Still getting their ass whooped. Anyway, I mean, for me, it's. I think it tells a lot to me that he's dealing with a lot of younger kids at this point in time, and its message is not getting across the way it was. And obviously, he's not speaking to grown men, which is a different situation. It's their job, and these kids are in college. But those kids some of them are going to the next level. And if you can't reach these guys where they're at now as a coach, it might be time.
I'd give it a shot. I think it's wildly different in college and the NFL. He hasn't. It started rough at North Carolina. They've won their last 2. They've looked much better the last couple weeks. He still knows how to coach. He still knows how to coach. So
he knows all the X's and O's.
The thing is, he's 73, so he'll be 74.
It's up there
next year, which would make him. That's oldest head coach right now is Pete Carroll. He's 74. But then again, you know what? Like, hell, what if it is for 3 to 4 more years if he can last that long? You know, like you're getting Dart in his early prime. Maybe he can groom a coordinator that can take over after he's done. Yeah,
he's done enough grooming.
All right,
nice.
Move on. Yep, that was enough.
Sleepy Bill. All right, sleeping up, Bill. Let's go to the Bills, and how sleepy they were, because they did not wake up that game at all. For the Dolphins, they absolutely got their asses handed to them. I didn't even watch the game, and then all of a sudden I was getting an alert that the Dolphins were absolutely wrecking the Bills, and then I turned it on for a little bit, and the first thing I saw was Josh Allen just looking depressed as all hell.
Yeah.
I will say, and again, it's as we've talked about any given Sunday, but to be fair, I do know who they just played last week, and every time they played the Chiefs, it's a hard-ass game, even though they beat them pretty, I'd say, convincingly. But to get embarrassed by the Dolphins like that, who were 3-7, and you are a Super Bowl contender, and they put 30 on you, and you can only score 13. I think Josh Allen, he had 1 interception, just looked absolutely terrible. Still had 306 yards while still looking not the greatest, and the team not looking the greatest. But that's why rivals are rivals, is they know you better than anybody. But to let the Dolphins touch you like this, not good. Not good.
There's a lot to do with, the Bills' run defense. I mean, you let A-Chain run for 174 yards. That's a problem.
Yep.
The Bills' receivers, not to take away from Allen, they flat out they stink. If you watch a lot of the all 22, they just can't get open, and there's nowhere to go. So they have some issues, man. They have regressed from last year, and now they're kind of chasing the Patriots, which is just a wild thing to say after a year. But
and I'm not trying to toot my horn here, but during the preseason picks and discussions that we had, I did mention that I was concerned about the weapons that Josh Allen has available to him. I know Keon Coleman, he was supposed to be taking that next step. I don't even know if he's a good 2 or 3 at this point. You know what I mean? He's a serviceable receiver, but he doesn't have that stud to go to, really heavily reliant on, obviously, the running game and himself to scramble, but also his tight ends, right? I mean, they have, was it Kincaid and Knox? So, it's, I still feel like he's just really short on viable weapons there. And Stephon Diggs, speaking of the Pats and previous weapons that he had available to him, Stephon Diggs, talk about a resurgence, right? I mean, he is just going nuts in New England. So, yeah.
You don't want to – never mind.
The Bills are just going to have a lot of trouble if they find themselves down early. Do you have another grooming comment or no?
No, you said Diggs and he said nut. Never mind.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
And McDaniel said after, they planned a lot of arm punts for Tua, so they just kind of were throwing stuff up and it was working. So one of those games for the Dolphins, riding around in laundry bins after the game, they were on tilt. So
we all have the Bills winning the AFC East.
That's a mistake.
One of our questions going in to this was the Vrabel effect, and then does Drake May take the next step? I think we got the answer to that so far. They were a 4-13 team last year, and they have absolutely turned that around. So
their schedule is so shit.
It's not great. It's not
They're
great.
winning. They're winning the
They
games they're
are.
supposed
They
to.
are.
Obviously, a big win against the Bucks yesterday in Tampa,
Mhm.
and they beat the Bills previously this year. So the next Bills Patriots matchup in a couple weeks will be very telling for what this division ends up being. But yeah, the Patriots are 2 games up right now, so Bills got some work to do.
That they do. I was just trying to look at our picks for this, but can't find that real quick. But
You win some, you lose some.
it was you don't win them all. But yeah. Harrison, you have
Speaking of losing some,
you have a loser here, and it is the Cardinals.
yeah. So obviously the chatter on Cardinals Reddit and Twitter and X and wherever you get your news last week is it's basically Kyler will never see the field again for the Cardinals. He went out a couple weeks ago with a foot sprain, and they didn't put him on IR. And then, Jacoby Brissett played a few good games, and then they said, all right, Kyler, you're on IR now till week 13 or 14. So they, Cardinals and whoever else ran a nice smear campaign last week about Kyler, not being able to throw down the middle and, not having the kind of ear of his teammates, et cetera, et cetera. So all this fun news comes out. And, they're going to back Jacoby Brissett. Their fan base is big on Jacoby Brissett. Jacoby Brissett is still Jacoby Brissett. And yes, did he have a good game against the Cowboys? Yeah, he sure did. But who hasn't so far this year? So Cardinals go into Seattle and get absolutely belt to ass, like just absolutely destroyed. Jacoby Brissett is everything that you think he is. Immobile, pretty accurate. He's a fine backup quarterback, but the Cardinals seem to have hitched their wagon to him. And this could be potentially the last game that Kyler plays for the Cardinals. So we'll see where my guy ends up next year. Rumors are Raiders or Jets or, wherever else needs a stopgap. But the Cardinals owe him a lot of money. And if they don't cut him by, I think it's the first week of March, it's like $50 million more. So interesting situation in Arizona. I've learned a lot about this team over the years, and I don't like it at all.
You should start by not liking the head coach, but that's a whole nother thing in itself.
Yeah, he's fired next.
Yeah, he should have been fired a long time ago. But you want to talk about doofs, Brendan? That's the biggest doof right there.
He's fired.
But yeah, no, I'm very curious where Kyler goes, and does this revitalize his career? Right, we've talked about on this podcast of the Sam Darnolds of the world, the Mac Jones of the world, and the Geno Smiths of the world when they've gone to their second or third different team and kind of revitalize themselves. The difference is Kyler has always been a starter in the NFL and has been, at one point, was one of the top starters in the NFL and kind of middle of the pack at this point in time, maybe even almost closer to the bottom with the production and obviously injuries that have happened. But again, sometimes you need different atmosphere, a different setting, a different environment to flourish in. And I'd be interested to see what Kyler does next. And if he can lock in and get on the right team, he can carve up everybody in the NFL, honestly.
I think his situation is pretty different from those other guys you mentioned. I mean, Kyler was a rookie of the year, and then second year he's in the playoffs, and then third year he was injured. And then they just they just didn't hire the right guy at head coach. Like Cliff Kingsbury wasn't the guy either. But he was productive with him. And I think he still has a lot to give. Obviously has limitations. Like he's short. You're not going to run a lot of, under center plays, and he's not going to throw down the middle a lot, but he's obviously talented and can get out of the pocket and make things happen. So hopefully he can find a team that will allow him to do that. He's still young and he's still very talented. So I think whoever picks him up next, hopefully it's the right situation. I think they're getting, a mid to very good quarterback. So I think there's use for those.
I just tried to look up how tall Kyler Murray was, and it gave me Fairy Tale, the anime.
He's 5'10".
Instead. Okay.
On a good day.
Oh, so that's generous, but yeah.
On a good day.
You know, and as a fallback, he could always go play baseball.
He can.
He was drafted in the first round by the A's, so he has that option.
He does. He's just an athlete, man.
Hey, the A's are looking good too, up and coming. Nick Kurtz and Jacob Wilson. Oh, sorry. Yeah, football. Sorry.
Yeah.
My season's already over, guys, so I'm ready. Ready to talk.
He's already ready for baseball.
Ready for baseball, hockey, whatever you want to talk about. Nick's tape.
Nick's tape.
I'm sure. Well, no, the next thing you're probably worried about is the Knicks, because I'm sure you're not worried about the Rangers right now. So
yeah, Rangers are pretty atrocious too. Yeah, if you guys want to talk more MLS or WNBA, YMCA,
Anything else?
Rec league basketball, yeah, let me know.
Anything else?
Okay, I got you. We can talk about picks. In week 10, before the Monday Night Football game, Sam, Bacon, and myself went 9-4. And Harrison went 8-5. So we all had pretty solid records.
That's close.
Pretty good.
Not that great. For Monday Night Football, which you will hear this after, go Birds. We all picked the Eagles except for Bacon, which is why he got what he got at the beginning of this. And then the season to date the records. Sam has 100 wins. Okay.
First to 100.
Yeah, he is. Bacon is 3 behind, 97. I am 89, and Harrison is 83. All right. So
we're still in this thing.
Yeah. Well, you're probably going to stay in last place. You and I are probably not moving too much. We'd have to do some drastic.
Welcome to the bottom, my friend.
Listen, you're at the bottom. Okay, you're there with all the barnacles. Okay. Week 10. Bye for teams: Colts and Saints. Thank God for the Saints. Nobody wants to watch that. Not for the Colts, though.
Oh no, the Saints coming off a win. They're hot right now.
Thursday Night Football, Jets at Patriots. We all have the Patriots. I'm going to put Sam's pick as the Jets because he's a Jets fan. Commanders at Dolphins in Madrid. Is this the first game in Madrid? Because I know this past week was the first game in Germany.
They're in Berlin, London.
I hope it's the last. Are you guys tired of these European games?
I'm kind of with them.
I like it because it just reminds me of the Premier League, and it's just like you just early morning wake up and you just turn on the football's there, and then you literally have it all day, and they're trying to capitalize on the all day thing. So
yeah, kind of with it.
Actually, speaking of time of day or different game times and stuff, what's your favorite game time, like start time?
I like the 4 o'clocks.
Same
on Sunday. Yeah. You get to watch. There's 3 of them. It's easier to kind of watch all of them,
and just doesn't kill your whole day, right? You can still do stuff up until that point. I feel like the 1 o'clock games, you wake up, do a couple of different things, and then it's like, I gotta go at 1 o'clock, and then just kills your whole afternoon. Yeah,
and there's 7 of them on at once, and I'm kind of into most of them for the beginning, but then you tune out a bunch of them for the good ones later, and then you go right into 4. I like the 4s. Definitely not Monday football
games.
right now.
I like the primetime games because it's at the end of the night. I just don't like the fact that it carries into like 11, and if it goes into like overtime into that. But I do like that you have your whole day that you can do whatever you want, and then it's like your game. So like for me today, work and all that, and then Eagles this evening. But I don't know. It's a toss up for 4 and 1. I mean, it really just depends on what I had planned for that day. Like if I have something that's not pertinent and I can get to it later in the day, then 1 o'clock is great. And but the 4 o'clock games are also great too because you can do things in the morning if you want to. It really, I guess, depends on if you're a morning person or not.
My least favorite is Thursdays.
Yes, same.
Yes,
Thursdays.
yes.
Kill the Thursday games. I'm over it. I'm over this.
It's always like the worst games too. There's only really like ever maybe 2 to 3 of the Thursday Night Football games are actually good. Everything else is pretty much terrible.
Even when they're good, they're bad. It's like they're good because both of these teams are not playing well because they're coming off of 4 days of rest. Like it's just not. It's not conducive to good play. Like it's just bad. Like Broncos Raiders. Like 10-7 in theory. Pretty close, tight game, defensive. But no, it was just awful. Like
it was not great.
Terrible. Yeah. Geno Smith was running for his life. It was just not good.
Yeah. I'm over that. Kill the Thursday games. Kill the European games. This is America's sport. Okay. You want to take it?
European games aren't going anywhere, Brennan.
You want to keep it in North America. I'm okay with that, but they got their own football. Stick to that across the pond, right?
Well, you should probably just get used to it now, because it ain't changing.
Chasing points. We're here for all the nationalist takes.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh
some call me a xenophobe, but where I'm from is called patriotism. But
oh my. This is the podcast that we're going to get canceled. Sunday morning football in Madrid. Commanders versus Dolphins. I guess I have to pick the Dolphins on this one. The three of us have the Dolphins. Panthers, Falcons. We all have the Falcons, meaning all by Harrison and myself. And Bacon picked the Panthers. We'll come back to that.
All right,
Hayes has the Bills. Harrison has the Bucks. Bacon has the Bills for the Bucks at Bills. Texans at Titans. We all have the Texans. Bears at Vikings. Both Bacon and I have the Vikings. Harrison has the Bears. Packers at Giants. We all have Go Pack Go. Bengals at Steelers. All have Steelers. Still wish I didn't have to pick that. Chargers at Jags. We all have the Chargers. Seahawks at Rams. Harrison and I have the Seahawks. Bacon has the Rams. Niners at Cardinals. We all have the Niners. Ravens at Browns. We all have the Ravens. Chiefs at Broncos. I have the Broncos. You both have the Chiefs. Sunday night football, Lions at Eagles. Both Bacon and I have the Eagles, and Harrison has the Lions.
Our birds.
Yeah, no birds for him. Just because the dead birds or whatever. Cowboys at Raiders, and we all have the Cowboys, unfortunately. Bacon, you have the Panthers. Why?
I'll switch it up a little bit. I feel good about our short king.
You shouldn't. He's
there.
Terrible.
He's a surprise this weekend. So
he could. The Falcons suck too.
Yeah.
If you're not familiar with the show, anytime Harrison talks bad about the short king, you should probably bet for the Panthers. So I almost want to change my pick right now for him talking so badly about him and go that, but I'm not going to do that.
Bring him back. He's been really bad last couple weeks, but the Falcons are not much better. So I don't blame you for going either way.
Yeah. And in case you guys were curious, since the Commanders and Dolphins are in Madrid, Dolphins in Spanish is Delfín. So go Delfines.
Thank you. We're really sending Madrid our best.
Good luck over there.
We're really sending our best. I mean, that's the name of the pod right there. I mean, you really have no other choice.
Yep.
Okay. College football.
Oh wait, Seahawks and Rams must watch. That game is going to be so good.
It's going to be this is where we get to see. I feel like the Rams really haven't played anybody outside of the Eagles. So I think we're going to really see who wins the division. And I think you said last week, Harrison, that you feel that the Seahawks could get to the Super Bowl. I think it was you that said that. Maybe not. Maybe I'm making shit up. But the Seahawks absolutely have a chance of potentially being in the NFC Championship.
Yeah, I do like them a lot.
Sure.
I like them a lot. I don't think I said Super Bowl, but yeah, I think they're going to be close.
Yeah, and shout out to Matt Stafford too. I mean, he is just on another level right now. First player in NFL history to throw for 4 more touchdowns and 0 interceptions in 3 straight games. So,
damn, guys, lighten it up.
Shout out to Matt.
Fresh off a back injury.
Mm-hmm.
There's hope for you yet, Hayes.
He's our age too, right? Yeah, he's like 37. So, hey,
oh my God.
Turn that frown upside down, Hayes.
Oh my God. Something else that's upside down is Penn State, and they faced Indiana. And Harrison wanted to put this on here for some reason, just to torture me, probably.
No.
What do you want to talk about here, Ben?
Just how amazing that game was. It was just Penn State kind of had them down. Indiana comes back. Mendoza, who should probably be a first round pick quarterback, maybe the first one taken, but I still need to dive a little bit more into that. Throws just a ridiculous pass into the end zone. One of the greatest catches I've ever seen, back of the end zone, 1 foot down. Of course, we have Gus Johnson on the call, who's my favorite. He's catching a lot of heat because he basically lost his voice while he was calling it. But to me, it just kind of mirrored the moment and the energy and just the excitement of it. If you haven't seen it, go back and watch it. The catch is silly good. And just the moment for Indiana to stay undefeated. Obviously it's Indiana. They're not up there with the Power Fives that you think of, but they're still undefeated and got a pretty favorable schedule remaining to make it to the college football playoff and obviously make some noise there. So that's another coach who's been amazing the last couple of years, Kurt Signetti. Sigs. He's got, great interviews and he's just a really solid coach. So shout out Indiana. Not to put
what coaching umbrella did he come from?
He's from the Nick Saban arc. Yeah.
Yeah.
But not to put
is Lane Kiffin from there too?
He sure is. Everyone's from there.
Giants. There we go.
Yeah. Brian Dable's from there. Brian Dable's Belichick. Yeah. Belichick. Yeah.
Belichick.
It's all these umbrellas. But yeah, not to shit on your Nittany Lions Hayes, but they've played really well the last couple weeks.
No, you should.
No, they'll be fine. They'll be fine. They, lost to number 1 Ohio State and number 2 Indiana, both in close games. So
we'll see when we get Matt Rule next year. We'll see.
You'll be all right.
Mm-hmm. You also had Cade Cunningham, and you said he is gross.
Yeah, I didn't have a lot of NBA news. We're kind of just in the motions now before, obviously, our Christmas slate. NBA Cup has started. You got some really disgusting courts out there. But Cade Cunningham, gross at basketball. Pistons are first in the East. They're 8-2. Cade is averaging 25. Last couple of games, he's had 30, 31, 32. He's just fully arrived as that guy.
That was great.
That's it. Thanks. Just quick, short and sweet.
That's great. Gentlemen, do you have anything else you'd like to say before we get out of here?
We'll get you out of here to rest my neck, my back.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to go play Arc Raiders while I rest because it is the best game of the year. And I'm going to nerd out and do that. So, because I'm not playing Call of Duty. So,
Battlefield is good.
Yeah, I've saw nothing but great things about it. You have it?
Yeah, it's for the olds. It's for the olds.
No, there's a big head skins and
Yeah. There's been a divide in the gaming community. So it's young kids going to Call of Duty and the olds like us.
We're taking it back.
Yeah,
I hope so.
Between our Raiders and Battlefield. Yeah.
I was good. I stopped once I started seeing the Nicki Minaj's and, like you said, Beavis and Buttheads and that's what I play Fortnite for. I can go and play as the Simpsons right now and do that. Like, that's what it's for. So go there instead of messing with Call of Duty. A game that's a war game.
It's not for us anymore.
It's not. It has left us. This last one was it for me, and I played zombies more than anything, and that was it. So we will spare you guys for the rest of our nerd talk here, but
nerds.
Appreciate you all. Thank you for listening to the Chasing Points podcast, episode 192. We're getting closer to 100. 200. Can't count, apparently. On that note, we will see you guys next week. We thank you for listening. Share this with your friends. Listen to us on all major DSPs, and we'll be back. Go Birds, and the Cardinals have bird flu. See you later.
Delfín.
Go Birds.